In today's Minecraft hardcore video, it's about time I get to moving out. Moving out of my temporary base, that is, because we've been living out of this giant floating island for a little while now, and I still have yet to actually build my own base. Now, what I'm going to do with this island afterwards, I have no idea. And I keep talking about how I'm building up these islands and the base, and it's just going to continue to go up and up and up into the sky. If you guys have been following the series, that's been my goal here, is just building kind of like a sky base, except for some things. Some things stay on the ground. It's about time we get to finally building up our first official home. In the last video, we built up a giant auto sorting planet. Kind of laggy, a lot of hoppers. Yeah, I haven't used this. Either way. My goal for this video, though, is to add a couple more islands, just a few more. I'll probably be branching off of our creeper farm, our giant space shuttle, and essentially going up and out and into it, like a couple more islands, and then my actual base itself. Which my base itself, I'm going to finally disclose this because it's already in the title thumbnail anyways. I'm building a cloud base. Now, how I'm going to do that is I'm still unsure of it. Because for building a cloud base, I can either A, use wool as like the bottom block, because it is white, and I mean clouds are obviously white, or option number two, I can be able to use like white glass, right? Because white glass, even though it's like translucent, transparent, either way you could see through it, and that's obviously good and bad, because then I'd have to make my base out of something white, which I guess isn't really that bad, but maybe. And the third option is that I mine up a whole lot of quartz to make quartz blocks, and then I mean that'd be a very expensive cloud. Or I can alternatively just use some quartz to be able to actually build a base. That'd also be kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. But out of these three options, I'm kind of leaning more towards white glass, even though it's like transparent. It's kind of be kind of cool to I think it'd be kind of cool to actually be able to see through and maybe like into the bottom of the base or something like that, the more I think about it. Then my other issue is that I only have 11 sand, like no glass. Did somebody say shoveling sand for a few hours? Well, that's what's gonna happen, because that's what needs to be done. All right, now that we've shoveled out a nice square in the desert here, I can imagine a lot of people are going to be like, oh, why didn't you just make a sand duper? Sand dupers are really, really cool. They're really OP, blah, blah, blah. Well, you see, something about like duplicating in Minecraft vanilla that just feels very, you know, not legit. And also it's just something about like, I don't know, draining out the desert of all of its sand, shoveling it all away and completely ruining the entire desert. It sounds fun to me. Either way, now we should have plenty of sand to be able to smelt down into some glass, which actually, now that I think about it, my smelting department's looking a little bit depressing. Okay, real quick, let's just throw together a nice little auto smelter type thing. There we go. That should be quite nice. And now all I need to do is basically just fill up both of these chests with sand, and it'll auto smelt all the way through. And it's just a matter of waiting. There's just something so peaceful about the sound of the furnace, the fire, the crackling. Did you know that only 30% of you guys are subscribed right now? Actually, you know what I just realized while I've been sitting here wasting time is that I could be multitasking. I'm going to need a whole lot of white dye for all this glass, and the best way to get that is jumping into the nether. Oh, hello, kind sir. Fastest way for me to get white dye is going to be just mining up all these bone blocks, because bone blocks turn into bone meal. Bone meal turns into white dye, and let the mining begin. Which we should be able to get a whole lot of glass. And now that we got all of our glass, now it's time to finally begin building up more islands, just like floating islands and stuff like that we can be able to put more builds on top of, but actually going all the way up to the base. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna need more dirt, because I built that. I guess it's a good thing that I already got all the shoveling out of the way, because that would have been pretty boring, huh? So let's get to building. All right, now we've officially built up all the islands that what I'm envisioning now, because I do have a vision for this. There is an end game for everything, I hope. However, I've built up one big island in the middle. It's probably about the same size as the temporary base that we've been living in. And then I've surrounded it with 4 other slightly smaller islands. However, these we're not going to worry about right now. We're going to act like these don't even exist. That's probably a next episode thing. It's definitely a next episode thing. Now on this main middle island, this is going to be kind of like our front door, if you will, to our cloud base. I'm just trying to think about exactly how that is going to be. But now it's officially time to actually get started on building up like the glass cloud that we've been planning. So I'm going to build all the way up. Honestly, I have no idea how high I'm even going to go. I was just like, I'd prefer it to be at least right above the clouds. One thing I hate is when you're trying to live life and then you got these big old clouds going right through your face. So we need more scaffolding. And that should be good now. Place that down. Also, we probably could go down just like at least just a smidgel. There we go. Something like that. And essentially, I'm going to try to build out like a giant cloud. I don't want it to look flat like these clouds, though. I want it to be like a big, lumpy, fluffy cloud, you know? And now I say that also because I'm really bad at building symmetrical things. And if I could just build something out of pure chaos and just spamming blocks, you know, that's more my speed. Hence all these incredibly uneven islands. Whoa, I just realized, isn't it weird that like you can't see clouds? Like there should be a cloud right here, then there's not. Minecraft glass on X game mode. And finally, our cloud is done. It looks kind of small, but like when you're on it, this is big. I made sure to leave like some air pockets inside of it and stuff like that so that we're able to actually like, you know, see some texture in the cloud. I also turned off my clouds. Hold on. There we go. So now we actually have all the other clouds now. Our mission accomplished with building up a big old, what looks like a fluffy cloud. Now all that's really left to do is actually get to building up the house on and or in the cloud. I'm still kind of undecided about that. However, I'm thinking about a castle in the sky that I could truly rule over the lands and look down on people. So that's what I do best. Now my biggest problem is figuring out exactly what blocks I even want to use, because yeah, it's just you know, if I build something out of wood up here, it'll look kind of funny, right? Maybe it'll look cool. All I do know is that staring at all this white and everything is like it's kind of hard. Like the glass blends too much and I can't see where I'm going and it hurts my eyes. So what I'm probably going to start doing is placing down a whole lot of rugs, because what I'm thinking here is if I get some white rugs, I snip in all these guys and I craft up a bunch of rugs, carpets. I said rugs, actually on poo brain mode right now. Anyways, what I'm hoping is that it does look a lot easier to see, right? Like, and then from the bottom, it shouldn't change much at all. A little bit. I'll likely only be putting carpets though on the inside of the house, because if it's in the house, then I'm able to actually, you know, walk around without losing my mind. And now to finally get all the blocks that we're going to actually use for the base though, which I'm going to start off with hopping in the nether so that we... Hello? What's happening here? Anyways, so that we can be able to get a bunch of quartz real quick. Shouldn't be taking too long with fortune. And all I really got to do is worry about these guys. Indeed. Oh, and actually, I'm also going to need a whole lot of gravel, because I want to be able to make a lot of like black concrete and stuff like that too. So I need all of it. All right, now it's finally time to start putting together this house. Now, how I'm gonna do this, I've been thinking about it more and more, and the more I think about it, that's what you do when you think more. I kind of want to make more of a modern house, because I don't really ever make modern houses in Minecraft. And I know everybody hounds me all the time. They're like, "Paul, you always use spruce and stone." It's the best looking combo in Minecraft. And so as I was saying though, it's like I got something to prove here. Like I could build more than just spruce and stone brick, okay? Like I could build some good looking houses. I hope. We'll find out. And now I have absolutely no idea where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of winging it and like going with what feels right for a build in like a modern house. I also need to make sure I actually have enough room. I'll probably just make the cloud bigger. And now we finally got the bones of the house all built up and kind of like the shape of how we're going to be building it. Like, I need to figure out exactly, you know, what I'm closing in and how I'm making rooms, because this is just the bones. But either way, I'm definitely liking it. Something about doing kind of like the modern angular minimalistic kind of vibe that I've always been a huge fan of. So we got front door right here. This is going to be a waterfall, all right? And I'm going to create like a little pond, front door, little koi fish pond type thing. We'll worry about that later. So like I said, front door, you got your living space with your hole into the cloud. That's a feature, of course. That's what we're going to tell the buyers. Over here where is going to be our, you know, our backyard area, where it's not really much backyard, but either way, I'm thinking up here will be kind of like a sleeping area, maybe a kitchen. So it'll be indoor, outdoor kitchen. Over here, like I said, the living room or something. We'll figure it out as we go. One thing I do want to do though is grab a tiny bit of jungle wood, because this is pretty much the only time that I think that jungle wood actually looks really good is during like modern builds, because something about, I don't know, the color of it, or I don't know, it fits to like modern aesthetic. I wanted to have this behind the waterfall, but it'll also add a little bit of wood to the inside of the house. You know, you can put like a little painting right there or something like that. And like I said, we're gonna break some glass here. Probably should be using my silk touch, but here we are. Climb back up here, drop some water off, and it should we'll fill the whole thing. However, I am liking the way this house is turning out so far. Comment down below, do you guys want to see some more like modern type builds out of me? Because I think I can build some nice modern looking stuff. I think I got what it takes. There we go. Now we got our nice little pond out in the front of the house with a waterfall going. This is feeling expensive, feeling real expensive. Either way, let's keep the build going. Finally, our house is finished. This is our modern build. Like I said, I never do modern themed houses. However, I think I'm going to start. I really like this house. This actually might be my favorite house that I've done, period. So we got the waterfall like what we talked about. I decorated a little bit, put some, you know, seagrass, some kelp, some pickles. It looks like a floating lantern, but there's glass right there. Of course, you got to add greenery. Even though we're up in the sky, I mean, you need something to look at, right? Because this is starting to give me a headache, I'll be honest. Speaking of giving me a headache, that's also why I made a portion of it also carpet. So, you know, once I'm, you know, setting up the kitchen and stuff like that, I'll actually be able to use it without having to look straight down. However, you know, occasionally it does look cool, so, you know, you want to look at it. This area, I decided to just make it more green. Why not? Just adding some more bamboo and everything. Heading on upstairs, we got ourselves what's going to be the brewing area for the time being until we actually make like a laboratory. So this will be kind of the brewing area in the meantime. Got a nice little balcony, strictly for aesthetic purposes. Then over here we got our bedroom, and I got some shutters on the front windows, so, you know, when I'm in the nude, ain't nobody gonna be looking other than the people that live behind me. That's right, nobody lives in the sky like I do. However, I want to try to keep it as minimal as possible, and the like kind of basey stuff just be temporary in this thing, primarily because, as I said, we're building up other islands, we're building up planets. There's a lot going on that's going to be also still in the sky, just not in the house. This is basically a glorified bedroom, the whole thing, because the only thing I'm really going to be doing in here is the occasional brewing. Again, I'm gonna probably just end up building something that'll, you know, actually make it look way cooler and everything. But now that we got our house built up, it's a little bit funny, maybe I do finish the carpet all the way through. Now that we got our house built up though, that leaves us with our old island, our temporary base. What do we do with this? What should we do with our old temporary base? Give me some ideas, comment down below, because I mean, it's a still really cool spot, you know, like there's a lot of potential. I mean, I can build stuff on it, I can build stuff in it. There's lots of things that we could do with this. And then don't worry about these. Like I said, I got some ideas coming up, probably the next episode, for these other floating islands that are below the base, because these are going to be kind of making the base look even cooler, if I'm being honest. Like it's gonna look pretty nice, so long as I got the skills to build. However, guys, that's gonna be for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, make sure you guys smash that like button for me, hit subscribe, join the PaulGG army, and I will see you guys in the next one.